This particular year, we'll have this running 2-3 days a week for you, otherwise known as the sofa. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not on board with that name.
Not on board with the sofa?
No.
How was your weekend?
It was okay. Went down to Austin, watched a concert that I didn't really have a whole lot of interest in, and I'd rather not discuss it any further than that.
Well, we had a fishing tournament. It was actually pretty exciting. Keith Carson took the W, $50,000 win. We had a couple local guys do really well in it, stay in the money, so shout out to them. But let's jump right into this, man. I saw this pop up on social media, and it's supposedly the top 20 NFL safeties since the year 2000, and I just don't agree with it. If you have any questions today, you can call in 903-280-0833. Don't be calling in with no nonsense, though.
And not just questions. You can call in and add to the debate. You can call in and ask us to talk about something.
You can call in with the debate as long as you agree with me.
That's right.
No, I'm just all right, number one, Ed Reed. Do not have a problem with that one.
No.
Dude was a ball hawk.
Best safety ever.
Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins, Earl Thomas, John Lynch. Him at 5, I don't know about it. I just don't know about him at 5. I feel like he was more of a one-dimensional safety. He was a run-stopping safety.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Weddle, I don't know. Darren Sharper, Cam Chancellor, Rodney Harrison. The one that bothered me about not being on there, and I don't know why. A lot of people were online talking about
Sean Taylor?
Lott.
Ronnie Lott?
Yeah, that he should have been on there. But Sean Taylor's the one that's missing to me. I know he had a shortened career because of his death, but, I mean, if Tyrann Matthews is on there, you have to put Sean Taylor on there.
I agree with you.
I mean, I know they make these, so we sit here and argue about it. They're always going to leave somebody on. I saw one recently come out that Shaq wasn't in the top 5 centers of all time. They're obviously just trying to make us fight about it.
Yeah, and to the Ronnie Lott thing, his career ended in 94, 6 years before the 20th century or 21st century began. So that's why he's not on the list. He would be number one.
Yeah. Sean Taylor has to be on this list. I just completely, it makes this entire list just BS to me.
Does it? I don't really have a firm opinion one way or the other.
I mean, if you look at the top 20 safeties, you're telling me Sean Taylor wouldn't be in the top 20 safeties of the 21st century.
Had he played for 7 or 8 seasons, yeah, he would.
He played for 4, and he already held a bunch of Washington Redskins, stats or whatever. He was a leader in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know that it's controversial to say that he should be on this list. Should he be number one? Of course not. But
no.
I'd have him somewhere in the 17 to 20 range. We just didn't get to see enough.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's move on. Let's talk. There's another one I saw, the most electrifying NCAA player since the year 2000, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe ever.
Ever, I believe it was ever.
Pop that up for me, Cam. Let's take a look at it. All right, Reggie Bush, Michael Vick, AP, VUY, Charles Woodson, Johnny Manziel, Lamar Jackson, Devin Hester, Tyrann Mathieu, Teddy Ginn Jr. And I just realized you can see this on your screen, so my bad.
Yes.
Who is missing from this list?
Oh, boy. Izzy, Darren Sproles. That dude was cold.
He was
I don't know if y'all remember Darren Sproles, but a couple years at K-State, he had 2,300 yards from scrimmage and 18 touchdowns, and that's not counting what he did returning punts and kicks. The guy was unstoppable. So I'd have him in the list, easily in the top 7 for me.
I'm not saying this just to be a homer, but LaMichael James was absolutely must-see TV his last 2 years in college.
Fair, but I don't know that he's one of the 10 most electrifying college players of all time.
Well, they have a defensive player on there. 2 defensive players.
Yeah, one of them did win a Heisman.
Okay, so Tyrann Mathieu didn't even get to play his senior year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was more media hype with the Honey Badger thing, and he happened to play at the time on one of the best defenses in college football, possibly ever. So I just don't.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't be on that list.
All right, so how's Deion not on the list?
That's a good question.
All right, that guy played both. If you're going to put Tyrann Matthews on there, you have to put Deion Sanders on this list. Teddy Ginn Jr. was cold, but he was a one-dimensional player other than punt returns.
I don't get the Devin Hester love either. I mean, he was fun returning punts, but come on.
This looked like Donnie Kelly put this list together or something.
I don't see a single. I only see one Miami player, so it definitely wasn't
Donnie Kelly. All right. Well, what do you think about Reggie Bush at 1? Trey, I see you're watching. Call in. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd swap Reggie and Vic personally. I just would.
Michael Vick
was the coldest, most electrifying college player to ever play the game. There's not even an argument against it, to be honest with you.
But then Adrian Peterson comes out, true freshman at University of Oklahoma, goes for 2,000. I mean, absolutely went off.
Yeah, it says electrifying, not best.
Okay.
When Vic had the ball in the open field, it was like it was must-see TV, man.
Trey, call in 280-0833. but electrifying Vince Young. I mean, the guy went for 200 and 200 in 2 consecutive Rose Bowls, one of them being a national championship game.
He single-handedly beat arguably the best college football team ever assembled.
Was he not must-see TV?
Of course he was.
Was he not the most electrifying player?
I'd have him above AP, but behind the other two.
I can't argue that Michael Vick should be one. I remember you had to watch Michael Vick on a Saturday night, and that's the only time Virginia Tech was going to play. It was on a Saturday night. You had to watch Michael Vick. And that even bleeded over into Marcus Vick before he started stomping on people's throats.
Yeah, I'd kick Woodson off the list completely and replace him with another Michigan guy, Desmond Howard.
Why is Charles Woodson on this list?
I don't know. I don't have any idea. He shouldn't be.
Johnny Manziel was a ton of media hype, but he was must-watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I can make an argument that Lamar Jackson shouldn't be on this list because he didn't have the hype like some of these other players did. Lamar Jackson was one of those, you got to see him when you saw him if you happened to be watching at a 2 or 3 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrann Mathieu shouldn't be on this list. You can make an argument for Ted Ginn Jr., but I think Michael James should be on there. Darren Sproles, completely forgot about that. Where would you put Darren Sproles?
He'd be in the top 7 for me, without a doubt. I'd kick Woodson out of there. I'd probably kick Peterson out of the top 7, but keep him in the top 10. If we're talking running backs of all time, why is Barry Sanders not on the list? I don't understand any of this.
That's another good point.
Like
Well, and this doesn't include their NFL career, or Vince Young and Reggie Bush wouldn't even be
Herschel
on
Walker
there.
just doing people dirty at Georgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but whoever made this list, I bet you's in their 20s. I mean, look at this list. Other than Charles Woodson, guess, with this list. This is, let's say it's 2 people. They're probably both in their late 20s. One of them is from Michigan, and is probably a Michigan fan.
That's what you'd gather from this list?
That's what I'm gathering from this. All right, and the other guy is a defensive, he likes defense.
Yeah.
And then they would know nothing about Herschel Walker, nothing about Barry Sanders. They would just be somebody they read about. So this is obviously
I may throw Bo Jackson in there. Like, there's this list. It has some serious holes in it. Again, you see the number down there in yellow. Call if you want to kick us a name we hadn't mentioned yet. We're definitely open to that. What was that, sir?
He's telling me to text Trey the number, and I'm like, it's literally on the screen.
All right. Give us a call. We can always go back.
All right, let's move on for now. We can go back to that. Holler back at us. Let's talk about a live stream we're going to have tonight. Kicking off at 6 from Liberty Ilo.
That's right.
Their leading district, a win tonight will give them the outright district win.
That's right. At this point, as long as they win one of the last 2 games, the worst they can do is tie Pleasant Grove, and a tie goes to Liberty Ilo because they've taken 2 out of the 3 games. So we're going to be there for you tonight live, and we'll have the celebration and see if we can't get Coach on with us live as well.
Guess who Jay Davis said should be on the list? I didn't even think about this.
Who's that?
We're talking about most electrifying, media hype, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The boss.
Fair. Media hype, yes. Electrifying,
not so much.
I'm not real sure about that, no.
But when you have an entire stadium chanting about you, one way or another, I mean, he was under people's skin. They were feeling some type of way, that's for sure.
Yes, he was.
I feel like we have more stuff on here to only have 2 things left. I feel like we just started, and I sent you like 50 pictures.
Those are the local sports.
Oh, the local sports?
Yeah, remember they're all local.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So they'll be live tonight. My son's got a T-ball or coach pitch game, so I'm going to go watch him. But they'll have Liberty Ilo versus Paris. Liberty Ilo wins. Liberty Ilo will be your district champion. Texas High got into the playoffs with a 17-2 win.
I saw that.
Saturday, I believe.
Beat the brakes off of somebody.
Yeah, no joke. It was Mount Pleasant. Yeah, 17-2 over Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, there's the box. Well, that's right. Luke Smith pitched a complete game and went, 2 for 2 at the plate with a walk, a double, 3 runs batted in. He had a big game.
Good for him.
That's right. And Zane Dodson, 4 for 4, a double, 2 runs batted in. And thanks to our sponsor, Texarkana Physical Therapy.
Yeah, no, Joe, I had lunch with Brianna yesterday, their marketing director, and they're doing big things. If you need physical therapy any kind of way in Texarkana, they've been in business for a long time. Texarkana's a new market for them. They've been in New Boston and DeKalb for a while. Mr. Wade, who owns the therapy centers, they do a really, really good job. Let's switch it over to college real quick before we come back to local high school sports. So we have some local players that played in spring games.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton Smith, wearing number 20, not his certified number 10, but wearing number 20 in the spring game. I think he had 3 tackles, 1 for a loss, and limited playing time. All signs show, like I said, boy's going to be a starter, and he's going to, in my opinion, be the rookie of the year for Big 12 on defense.
Wow, I didn't get a chance to watch. Was he playing on the end, or was he an outside linebacker?
He was playing outside linebacker, playing stand-up defense. Looks like a professional athlete.
Good, yeah. I'm looking forward to watching him try to cover some of those backs out in the flat. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, you're going to be in a bind if Clayton Smith lines up on the other side of you. But run stop, I mean, I watched most of it that I thought he would be in. Played extremely well. All signs point to Clayton Smith starting for the Sooners as a true freshman, which we know does not happen very often.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Especially on defense. I feel like on offense, a freshman can come in and make a splash because people aren't just centered around you. But on defense, it's totally different because you might get mismatched with a 6-year senior who's literally a grown man going to play in the NFL in 4 months, and you're having to line up against him at 18 years old.
You're squaring off against an actual NFL player.
Yeah,
a lot of the time, especially in the Big 12. Believe it or not, they've got some tackles that are balling.
Yeah, so I just, if I've ever been like sure, barring injury, like I'm sure Clayton Smith's
going to be it.
Oh, he's.
What about Landon? Did he play?
Landon did not get to play. Still, he is walking. He's out of his boot. He's working out. Didn't play in the spring game, but he'll be in town this week. He may be on the morning show Friday, from what I heard.
Awesome.
So
yeah, I did hear that.
I'm be excited to see him. Hadn't seen him in a while. Looking for him to do great things down at LSU. Nick Martin, however, did get to play at Oklahoma State's game. I asked him how he did. He wasn't really sure on stats. I couldn't find stats anywhere. But Nick had a couple of really big hits, is kind of what we expect from the hit stick.
That's right.
So they need to just go ahead and take Ian Martin off the back of his jersey and put hit stick on it.
Well, I'll put a call into Mr. Gundy about that. See how that goes.
Just keep in mind he's a man. He doesn't take calls from random nobodies.
Well, he's no longer 40. He's 50 now. I'm a grandfather.
That's true. And then Marcus, unfortunately, I think dislocated his ankle, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds incredibly painful.
Yeah, there's no way that felt good. And then Tavalis Hunt, Texas High graduate playing for Arkansas State. I'm not sure how he did in the game, but I saw he led the team out, and he's a TCU transfer.
Oof. I was just thinking dislocation. Did you guys watch that UFC fight Saturday?
Man,
we don't have a video of it, so don't worry about that.
It was bad. It was as bad as it gets.
Yeah, like go out there and kick a telephone pole. And
when an announcer vomits, it's bad.
I got a chance to get back to the hotel room just in time to watch the main event, and I don't know if you're a UFC fan.
I'm not a UFC fan. I'm not a fan of that.
My goodness, the champ Usman there, he's a world class wrestler and grappler, and it looks like he's learned to punch. So look out, world.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jay Davis was at the UT spring game, and Montreal Estelle out of Hooks played. If I'm not mistaken, Jay, he played. He said punt team and some wide receiver. So it looks like he's going to be moving from the defensive side of the ball to the offensive side.
Oh wow! Speaking of that, I was in Austin trying to figure out why there were so many darn people. It took me about 30 minutes to figure out why.
That's because Tesla's coming there. You didn't know?
No, the spring game was happening while I was there, and I couldn't convince my significant other to peel off and go watch some football.
Well, you need to be looking for a new one then.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. Hopefully, this isn't live.
Hey, pop me up some local graphics real quick before we get into national sports. Oh, yeah. If you haven't yet, go download the Texarkana Gameday app. We'll have all our news stories on there. You'll be able to watch broadcasts of games, the shows. Come football season, we'll have athletic profiles for each and every football player. We'll have stats, scores, obviously, for all the area teams. Just a bunch of stuff. Support our sponsors on there. You can click them if you're a big Game Day fan. Try your best if they offer a service you need to use them. And it's just awesome. I think it was money well spent. We spent quite a bit of money on it, and I'm happy with it.
Awesome. Yeah, it does look cool. And are we going to be streaming our golf matches there this summer?
I'm done with golf. Y'all come
That's a shame.
stream me fishing or something.
That we can do. We know for a fact we can do that now.
From the boat, though.
Oh, that's tough. Can you stay within 50 feet of our camera?
Y'all better, I know these little metal boats y'all have. Y'all better keep up.
We've got something else coming up.
Oh, yeah. So, I had a vision for this a long time ago, and it's finally coming to fruition. Jennifer and Silas have a show called Ladylike. It'll come on Mondays at 6:30. They'll have local female athletes, cheerleaders, drill team, band. They'll have business leaders in the community. They'll have a focus on what does it stay down there? Medical, lifestyle, and obviously sports. So we wanted to do something more for the women and the young ladies in the community, and I feel like this is going to be a good start to it. It'll start off one evening a week, and we'll just see if it grows. I'm kind of excited about it. I know they're really excited about Jennifer and Silas. Be a good fit.
First show is this coming Monday?
This coming right? Monday, yeah.
All right. I'll be tuned in, and hopefully they can take calls.
Jay says UT volleyball lost in the national championship game. Molly Phillips, 6'5" middle blocker, showed out, played PGYA, moved away for high school. Well, that does us no good, Jay. Jay probably coached her, pulling a Tony Langford on us.
Yeah. That's the reason why she's balling out there.
We got some people going to state and a bunch of people, but we only have a couple graphics. What we got? Pop the job fair up, yeah. All right, so listen, we were going to have a job fair here at Phone Pros behind Target at the Gameday studio. Joey Martin at Express Personnel is one of my good buddies, also a sponsor of Gameday, been helping us out since day one, so we do everything we can to help them. Normally, Frank, they have about 30 to 40 positions open at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
They have over 100 jobs open right now.
And we're talking, those range from
entry
level all the way up to
entry level to $150,000, $60,000 a year careers.
Repeat that, and what's this guy's phone number?
Yeah, so he knows he can't hire any of my people, especially Rita. And anyway, so they're going to be doing on-the-spot interviews. Unfortunately, put that back up one more time. We're going to move it from. It was supposed to be this Thursday, but we got 95% chance of rain. So we're going to move it to the following Thursday. So we'll have different business leaders in the community come in talking about positions open at their companies. We'll have, I believe, a food truck. We'll have a big tent. We'll have the game day set out there. We'll have a bunch of people coming on. We need to get people back to work in this Texarkana community. Express Commercial, we have the jobs. Like they really do have the jobs. And we've just come out. I mean, even if you don't want to wait till not this Thursday but the following, contact Express, put in your resume. They're doing on-the-spot interviews. We want to get people back to work in Texarkana, and Express, needs everyone's help. So if you could take a screenshot of that, send it to people you know. They have a lot of really good careers, not just jobs, available right now that they need to fill. All right. What else we got? All right, let's do some local sports. Put up under that, let's do national sports news. Oh, Cassidy Johnson going to state in triple jump out of Queen City. Shout out to her.
I had a chance to watch some folks do that a few weeks ago. That looks difficult. I'm not sure I could make the second one. Have you ever seen a triple jump in person?
I used to do triple jump back in the day. I did high jump, too. Did like 6'7" on high jump, no joke. Y'all laugh if y'all want to.
Donovan said something about cap. I don't know what that means. He said that's cap.
He meant no cap. Y'all are a bunch of haters, boy.
Ain't nobody hating. We just, I believe you.
Oh, yeah, 20 years ago, you couldn't do anything. All right. Yeah, another young lady from DeKalb, right? Gracie Crane. She's going in shot put. And there's a bunch of other people going to state from our area. Those are the ones that were sent over to us that we had photos of. But we'll have the other ones.
Yeah, reach out to us via Facebook and get us that information, and we'll definitely shout out to you on tomorrow or the next day's show.
Yeah.
Good luck to all.
Yeah, I think that girls is May 7th.
How did Liberty Iowa do with the regionals? Do we know?
I want to say I saw that they might not have won the meet, but they have a bunch of people going to state. And different things. So, they have a really good track program over there.
Yeah.
That's one thing's for sure. What do we got in national sports, Frank?
That's a good question. There's not a whole lot going on.
There's not a whole lot going on.
A lot preparing for the draft this week, but
love the draft, man. It's my favorite, not my favorite day of the year, but it's one of my favorite days of the year. I just absolutely love it.
And nothing's really changed between last week and now as far as the mock drafts go. Everybody's pretty set at 1, 2, and 3. And
so the Atlanta GM is still trying to lose his job in 3 years?
Well, that pick they're open for business.
I would be too. They must have watched our show and was like, you know what, that guy's right.
Yeah. No, again, the tight end is a game changer, but
you can't take him number 4. You cannot take a tight end in the draft number 4.
Somebody will.
Somebody's eat up with it,
Yeah.
and a GM's going
We
to
had
lose
this
their job.
discussion last week. Yes, historically, it's been a pretty bad idea to take a tight end in the top 5, but this is not your typical tight end. This is an athletic freak. This is a guy that you can't cover, you can't defend.
A tight end's never going to win you a game.
Well, what if he's a receiver?
He's not a receiver. He's a tight end.
He's a receiver that can play tight end. That's the difference. So we're going to disagree on this.
Vernon Davis was as well, and I would say Vernon Davis is the best tight end of my generation. You can make an argument for Shannon Sharp and the guy who was the guy that played for the Chargers. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Name escapes me.
Do I? Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
So we'll say all three of them, but you wouldn't build a team around a tight end.
No.
Okay. All right. Hey, some sad news. Ex-Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Florida State Seminoles linebacker Geno Hayes dies at 33. And if I'm not mistaken, he had liver disease. That's right.
Oh,
so
no.
sad news for him. Hate that for everyone involved. I remember reading that he was very sick a couple of weeks ago, and he was in hospice care. Hate to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awful. And then I guess baseball news. So there's a two-way talent that's like nothing we've seen in a really, really long time. So last night became the first time since Babe Ruth that the starting pitcher of a baseball team was simultaneously leading the league in home runs at the plate. That actually happened.
Babe Ruth was a pitcher? I thought he played first base.
Next. I'm joking. No, yeah, he pitched and hit. That's why he was so good.
He didn't play first base?
He did it when he wasn't pitching. He played first base.
Okay, all right.
played the
That's
outfield.
all the time I ever saw him out there.
Yeah, he did a little bit of
Yeah, I'm
everything.
not a baseball fan.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy is as talented as any baseball player to ever live. He's a 6'5" guy from Japan, and just last night he hit a ball 115 miles an hour and threw a pitch 101 miles per hour. It's pretty ridiculous.
Who does he play for?
The Angels. I'm
trying to remember where Los Angeles Angels,
there you
right?
go.
And then there's the Dodgers.
It's too much.
I hate baseball.
My goodness gracious.
It's just boring. Hey,
I tried, folks.
a rookie card. LeBron's rookie card sold for $5.2 million. Why?
I don't know. Somebody's bored and has a lot of money, I guess. I could do a lot of good with $5.2 million.
Well, you
Do
can
a
buy
lot
a
of
rookie
bad, too.
card. All right, this is something I've been studying because I want to know more about it. This NFT stuff,
I don't know.
which stands for non-fungible token. You introduced me to this about a month and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
and people are buying them as investment pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I can't understand why they would be worth $250,000, $500,000. There's no residual income off of them, and I don't understand how they're going to go up in value. And evidently, I'm an idiot because everybody else knows what's going on, even though I still can't understand it. I've tried to really understand why these are valuable, and I still cannot understand what makes them valuable.
Same reason that the LeBron James rookie card just sold for $5 million.
Well, I can make an argument for that because there's a big collector's market for cards. This is literally, you get I don't even know how to explain it. You get a clip of a video.
It's a moment.
It's a moment that you own along with, depending on what it is,
Yeah.
5 to 1,000, maybe 10,000 other people. You own a moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's no residual income. There's nothing. You just have something.
Like a baseball card.
No, a baseball card.
You just have.
No, you have a physical asset.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to call it $5.2 million, that's an asset. You have a physical asset. This is not even a physical asset. And you own it along with a bunch of other people. That doesn't make sense. All right, we're going to make a baseball card, and 10,000 people have it. It doesn't make it very valuable, right? All right, but the ones that are selling for $200,000 to $500,000, the one I saw the other day was the kid in the NCAA tournament that hit the buzzer beater, not the first one, but the one that played for the national championship in the game, the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
That one was he said he's going to profit off of it, and the moment was sold in total for over $1 million, but it was 3 different people bought the moment.
It's crazy.
All right, now.
I mean,
From
I'm
my
not going to pretend like I understand. I don't.
From my understanding, they're not going to profit off this. They're going to hope it goes up in value, I guess, and then I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
It's kind of like a stock.
But anyway, the way the Golden State Warriors say this is the wave of the future. We've been studying what is the best way for us to get involved and create something for our fans. NFTs have been around for years. I've never heard of it till a month and a half ago. But they've really become more mainstream and popular this year. The inflection point for us really is the NBA's Top Shot. Are they trying to replace baseball and basketball cards?
Yes, no one's going to Target and buying baseball cards anymore. Why would they?
But nobody can afford what they're selling this stuff. I'm going to almost said something else. What they're selling this stuff for.
Yeah, they sell them in packs, and they're only like $10. The ones that you buy individually are the same cards that you buy out of a baseball pack that just happen to be the LeBron James rookie card.
Hey, you can only buy them with cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of Dogecoin. Wonder if they're taking that. Stephen A. Smith even talks about them selling this rookie card for $5.2 million.
Who's Stephen A. Smith?
Hey, what's up with this soccer thing going on?
It fell apart.
What were they trying to do?
They were trying to essentially, like if college football were to take the Alabamas, the Michigans, the Ohio State, the USC, the Oklahoma, and just create a super league out of those teams and steal all the viewership and money from the rest of the NCAA. That's what they were trying to do with the 10 to 12 most popular European soccer teams. And it fell through because the fans were outraged and the league would collapse and just it wasn't going to work.
And D. Wade is part of an ownership group, and he's going to have a front office position with the Utah Jazz.
Is he? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I think it's the Utah Jazz. He's part of an ownership group that's buying him, and he will
When are these teams going to stop allowing ex-players to manage personnel? It's a terrible idea. It never works. It's a different skill set than the one you used to play. That's why I'm speaking to you out there, the only two NFL teams with ex-players as general managers right now are quarterbacked by Jimmy Garoppolo and Drew Lock. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear any more about it. You didn't play the game. They did out here making bad decisions. Uh-oh. We have a phone call.
All right, let's see.
Let's pass it through.
It's probably the wrong number. Patching in.
Hit that answer button. Hello, you're on radio.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Who's this? Our first prank call.
That's funny.
Our first prank call.
All right, man. People are starting to go in on Dion at Jackson State.
What about him? What do he do now?
I mean, he's not winning.
Oh, well, I mean,
And the quarterback transferred because, and keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, this quarterback was from Florida, a 4 or 5-star athlete, and it's obvious that Dion is going to start his son come fall, no matter what.
yeah.
And Dion kind of attacked this kid a little bit.
Well, Dion,
I felt like Dion might have been wrong to lure kids to come that legitimately have a chance to play at the next level. And then, let's see it.
hit that answer button. Let's see.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Identify yourself.
Yeah,
Hello?
I was wanting to know if we talk about some Arkansas Razorback baseball.
Oh,
I'll allow it. They're number one in
Go
the
ahead.
country. We'll allow it. I don't know a lot about them, but tell me everything I need to know.
go ahead and talk. We'll listen.
Well, they're number one in the nation. I just thought we might ought to talk about them a little while.
Don't you have some insurance to sell?
Who is this? This is Brian
It
Bolt.
sounds like Brian Bolt.
Oh, my God.
You have all night to talk about that tonight, sir. I'll sit next to you and roll my eyes.
These Arkansas fans are the worst fans in the world. Like, well, I guess you would consider them the best fans in the world.
Yeah.
They're all football fans. He's really a football fan, but he's gonna. Oh, they're good at something else. Let me throw this out.
How do I
here.
describe the Arkansas fan base?
Tread lightly. We're in Arkansas fan territory.
That's right. I'll stop. It's like a
I was gonna allow it till I found out it was Brian Bolt.
yeah. Well, is he still on air with us, sir? Next question.
Yes, I am. I just want to say woo pig suey.
We want to hear you call the Hogs like you do at a football game, as loud as you can.
I'm not going to do that on the radio, sir.
All right, go to your secretary and make her do it.
I appreciate y'all talking for 5 seconds about the Razorbacks.
Yeah, we'll give him a shout out. Arkansas, your baseball program is on the national stage doing big things.
You're finally good at something.
Your biggest fan is a platform he can call and express his views. We appreciate your time, Mr. Brian Bolt.
Hey, Mr. Brian Bolt, do you ever see John Daly at games?
John Daly.
I have not personally, no.
John Daly graduated, or not graduated, but he went to University of Arkansas.
Did he really?
His
He goes to a
his
lot.
British Open trophies there, right? Or they had him. They hid him in the closet.
Yep.
Is that British Open? Is that right? Or U.S. Open?
Yeah, he won a British.
Yeah, and he evidently loaned him to the school. Well, he came back wanting to see him, and nobody knew where they were at, and they were in a closet. That's rough.
Absolutely.
That's rough.
So
That's how Arkansas treats their former athletes.
Softball on top right now as well. Not number one, but doing very well.
That's
How's
right.
the football team going to look next season?
A lot better than they did. Number 3 in the S.
Did you say number 3 in the SEC?
Hold me to it.
All right.
Live
we
on
will.
the air right now.
Hold
I got
on.
$100.
You got $100. I will take that. That they will not finish number 3 in the SEC. I want you to go through this schedule with me. Frank, pull the schedule up.
Oh, Lord.
Billy Lavender said that he would go 50 in on me.
Well,
He'd go with me, 50-50.
how about you do 100 and he does 50, and I'll take both of them.
All right.
Matter of fact, if you want, we can do. I'll do almost any amount you want.
Oh, boy.
All right,
This
third in the
SEC
SEC.
this
Look
SEC.
at this bull schedule they
We've
got.
got A&M
Oh,
at Georgia.
hold on. Who are these teams up here? They don't do
We're just talking,
scrimmages.
we're just talking SEC. This is when conference starts right here. They've
Is
got,
this Arkansas schedule?
yes, they've got
Okay.
A&M. Then they go to Georgia the next week.
Hold on, go up. I saw they're playing Rice to start the season, so they're trying to start with a W. They're going to get waxed by the Longhorns. they'll beat Georgia Southern, so they're going to be 2-1 going into week 4. They're going to lose to A&M 2-2. That's a SEC game, so that's 1 loss.
Then at Georgia the next week.
They're going to lose that. That's 2 losses.
Then at Ole Miss the next week.
They can beat Ole Miss. I'm going to give them that. Let's say that's 1 win.
Then Auburn comes to Arkansas.
Auburn's going to be very down, right?
I mean, a bad Auburn team's better than most Arkansas teams.
Okay.
But
Let's say.
let's give them a win.
All right, let's
at
give them a
home.
win. 2-2.
Mississippi State at home. They can beat them. Then they got the big boys.
Yep.
At LSU and at
Now
Alabama.
LSU's going to be down.
Again,
Down.
All I hear you talk about is down, and up is all the Razorbacks are headed.
Nobody has said Arkansas is on the way up.
Well,
I just see it.
All right, well, who's going to be their
they
quarterback?
started at the bottom. Now they're here. Is that right? Whose lyrics are those, Cam?
Absolutely.
Who's going to be the quarterback next year?
It's a toss-up. We've got so many transfers coming in, you never know.
So you
Probably
think a transfer is going to come in and lead Arkansas Razorbacks to the 3rd spot in the SEC?
Absolutely. If not the second.
How? I mean, Brian, I want you to legitimize this to me, not just your opinion. Tell me why they're going to be 2nd or 3rd best in the SEC. Because man, you got to realize, dude, they've been terrible for a long time. And you're telling me out of
Just like
nowhere
you
they're going to
said,
turn it around?
Some of the top teams are on their way down, and Arkansas is on the rise. Look what they did last year.
Well, Brian, the difference is LSU's having a down year because a ton of players are going to the draft. They have 4 and 5 stars coming in every year. So they're not going to be bad.
Yeah.
They're just going to be down from the national championship year.
They are.
They'll probably be like they were last year. Arkansas is not getting any of those players. So at best, I think we can hope that they're the same. Unless they're getting some players that I don't know about. But from my knowledge, there wasn't one 4-star or above football player in the state of Arkansas last year.
I don't know if that statistic is right. You've told me that a couple
Pull
times.
that up.
I'm not
Pull
sure
up.
if that's right. I'm going to have to do my research on that.
What was the question?
All
I'm
right,
gonna
so
be
go to
honest.
Rivals.com. Or maybe 247 Sports is probably what I should have done. But go to, I think Rivals Recruiting or maybe 247 Recruiting. All right.
I'm looking for what now?
Go to the state of Arkansas, 2020, and see if they had any recruits. Because the one I saw, there was no. There may not even have been any 3-stars in the entire state. Which, I mean, I've always said I don't feel like it's Arkansas's fault that they're just bad at football because they're just in a weird recruiting ground. They're far enough away from Texas where if you live in Texas, it's not close. And then they're surrounded by states after that aren't historically known to be great at football.
I'll give them this. Arkansas signed 3 4-star recruits.
What positions?
We've got wide receiver, athlete.
I don't know why a wide receiver would go to Arkansas, especially a 4-star, unless he has ties to the university. I mean, am I wrong, Brian? I mean, you're an ex-coach. I mean, I don't think that's a good landing spot for a wide receiver.
Hey,
Unless
we'll
you're
take
just
anything we can get right.
unless you're just know you're going to be down, so you think they're going to throw the ball a lot. But if I was University of Arkansas,
we are going to throw the ball a lot.
yeah, but man, I think at this point Arkansas needs to shorten these games. I feel like they need to be running the ball more, using the clock, and trying to keep it close and go for a win in the 4th quarter. I just don't think they're not going to line up and beat Alabama. They're not going to line up and beat a top 5 team in the SEC playing their offense. From what I've seen, did you see any State of Arkansas?
I didn't. I wasn't able to find that right quick.
Well,
But
Jay Davis wants us to move on to the next team, and so I'm gonna let you go after this.
well, I mean,
All right, that
you've
works.
yet to make a credible argument on why they're going to be
Here's
the
the
second
deal.
or third.
we haven't either in our defense.
Everyone wants to talk about Arkansas because of how bad they've been over the last, let's just say, decade. Okay? All right? But here's the deal. Arkansas is on the rise. They have a great coaching staff that are getting good recruits in. It is an equal playing field for everyone in the SEC except Alabama. So if Arkansas is up there in the top this next year, don't be surprised, and you heard it here first.
I will be surprised.
As far as statistics and all of this that we can
And
look up, I just want to be the first
At
one
what
to say
point
it.
can I collect on my $150?
I guess it'll have to be after the football season.
I mean, it ain't gonna take to the end of the football season. I can promise you that. It's not gonna take that long.
We'll see where we stand 5 games into the season. We'll see.
I mean, I done told you
Get a
you're gonna be at best 3-2, at worst 2-3. You're gonna beat Rice.
I do want to say this. You went through the schedule and you say that Texas is going to beat Arkansas. I was being a little sarcastic with them being the third team in the SEC, but I will bet you this.
No, you done betted me they
will
were gonna
beat
be second or third. That's what you said.
Arkansas will beat Texas.
Okay,
No, they won't.
let's put a wager. Let's put a little friendly game day
news is-
wager on that. Let me get some Brian Bolt shelter insurance gift card to my restaurant of choice for enough to feed a family of 5.
Jeez.
And then I'll do a game day one if you win.
All right. We'll make a little friendly wager.
And then Jay Davis says he wants in on it, and he's giving you 20 points.
Hey,
Giving me 20 points.
I'd
Okay.
probably take that bet.
That's what Jay Davis says.
Longhorn fans are about like the Razorbacks.
You know what?
You're living in a fantasy world.
You know what? 3-way Jay Davis in on this call.
I don't know if we can.
Well,
we don't know if we
yeah,
have that technology yet.
You can do that. It's a cell phone. All right, call this number.
Oh.
Jay, I'm about to put your number out. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
While this is happening, let's talk about some draft movement. Bucky Brooks, NFL.com, says the 49ers are going to draft Trey Lance at 3. Sees Justin Fields falling all the way to 15, where the Patriots will select him.
I told y'all Justin Fields was going to fall. Whoever in his camp.
Again, I think the information got out, and he had to get ahead of it.
Well, that's the thing. It should have been out before the draft. And
And
the
you're
point that
making
it came
phone
out
calls.
after the fact is going to hurt him. I'm telling you, he may fall to the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that doesn't happen for him, but that just wasn't good.
We need to put Jay Davis' number on the screen. Y'all call him up at State Bank.
Hey, who we got? Anybody?
Is this Jay Davis?
Fellas?
What's going on, Jay?
Just trying to do a little work while I'm listening.
Well, Brian Bolt's talking nonsense, talking about Arkansas is going to be third in the SEC, knowing that ain't going to happen. And then he's talking about Texas is going to get the brakes beat off of them. That ain't going to happen. Will you speak some sense into this nonsense he's talking?
I had to turn my feed off because it was giving me double.
Go in on Brian Bolt for me if you wouldn't mind.
Sports caller, you were on the air.
This call's not off to a good start.
That's right. We tried.
Are y'all going to talk or
Brian,
not?
my assumption is Texas is going to put at least 40 up on Arkansas this year.
That's fair.
Arkansas's got the offense to score toward it.
I've been telling them they need to get back in that. What is it called? What's some old school? The veer. Arkansas needs to start running the veer.
Yeah, they do.
At least you get good running backs and offensive linemen. Brian Bolt, right here to the world and the 15 people watching. Tell me your best recruiting pitch for the number one player in the country to come to the University of Arkansas.
The number one recruit in the country to come to Arkansas.
Yep, give me your recruiting pitch.
Arkansas is on the rise. Sooner or later, Alabama will fall. Arkansas is next in line.
What? Do you believe
They
that?
have put the coaching staff in position They are getting transfers in. You just watch the Texas. They won't be the number. I'm not saying they're going to win a national championship. But what I'm saying is, eventually Alabama's coming down.
Did you hear what he just said? Rita, did you hear what he just said?
Of course not.
He said Alabama's going to fall off and Arkansas's up next.
Here's my pitch.
What? What is this guy talking about?
Here's my pitch. Here's my pitch if I am Arkansas's head coach. Look, you're going to get to play on day one, and our games will be played when no one else good is playing, so everyone's going to get to see it.
Listen, man, we're going to play 11 o'clock games every Saturday, so you'll be able to party Saturday night. We'll probably be home by Saturday night every week because we're going to be an 11 o'clock game because nobody wants to watch us. Your family doesn't have to worry. Your family doesn't have to worry about tailgating. Yeah, you don't. You get to go home for Christmas. You don't have to worry about playing in a January bowl game. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. Only thing you're losing, you don't get to tailgate.
I'm going to defend Brian Bolt here.
I'm still astonished how anybody in Texas is still a Longhorn.
It's a good question.
I mean, I really am. I mean, I still don't understand why TCU and A&M are not the top two.
They've let us down a lot.
In Texas. I mean, who even watches Longhorn football anymore?
Well, it almost is a fair argument, except for so many people watch that they required their own network to cover their sports.
It's exactly like the Dallas Cowboys.
Here we go. He has nothing. He has no argument. So so what he's doing is going back to just bashing on random teams. Bash on Arkansas.
I don't know how they're not giving away season tickets to Longhorn or Dallas Cowboys.
Let me tell you exactly why. Because there's tradition there. There's years and years of winning tradition that people want to be a part of.
Doesn't win football.
He's right about that. The two teams pretty much suck right now.
Hey, everybody sucks every now and then. Arkansas has been sucking forever.
You need to do some research on that.
Arkansas was pretty cold back in the day.
All right, other than the team that played in the bowl game, not the Cotton Bowl, the one in New Orleans. It was a BCS bowl game. That was legit. Sugar Bowl. All right. All right, y'all wouldn't let him have his side piece, and this is what happens. Y'all's program went on a downward spiral. Y'all were too good for Bobby Petrino, and look what's happening now. You're going from just jumping from coach to coach to coach. Maybe, just maybe, it's not a coaching problem.
Hold on. You act like the Longhorns hadn't had 3 coaches in a decade. We're doing the same stuff. Now we're hiring folks with we're hiring folks with real problems now.
Arkansas has been. All right, let's go back to Petrino. All right, so Petrino was the first fire. Who was the guy right after Petrino?
I'm just saying, we don't really have a leg to stand on here. In this
I'm not the one claiming Texas is going to be a top 3 team in the or whatever.
He's not comparing Texas to Arkansas. We did that.
I've got to go to lunch, guys. I appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you, Sports.
Jay Davis, stay on the phone.
All right.
So tell me why Texas is going to be good.
Well, I think you've got a pretty good offensive mind and Sark coming into the game. So I mean, I think from a coaching standpoint, he's going to be worth at least 7 extra points from last year's debacle. I think the running back position is going to be a lot healthier this year, and Jordan Whittington looked extremely good at the orange and white game. So I'm excited to have him on the outside playing wide receiver now. He appears to be back in form. And then I cannot remember his name, but I'm trying to find it while I'm actually talking to y'all. But there's a freshman who they still didn't want to get hit. He was still wearing a black jersey, but it was number 21. Hold on. Let's see. Troy Omeire. 6'3", 227. Man, he looked good.
Is he out of Denton Ryan?
So I think Texas offense is definitely going to be a lot more prolific than last year. I think they're going to put up even more points, even with a new quarterback.
What do you think, Frank? Can that offense get better from last year? I
course.
thought they were pretty dang good last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were one of 4 goal line stands away from beating LSU 2 years ago.
Jay, where do you think Sam gets drafted this week?
He's going to Tampa.
I don't mean specifically, but I meant round-wise. 6th or 7th? You think somebody pops him in the 5th?
Yeah. Man, the 5th would probably be a little early.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think he's.
Do you think his talent's going to transfer to the NFL?
Well, no. That's why he's a 6th-round draft pick. But you need backup quarterbacks.
I'm really surprised Colt McCoy. I know he's just been a backup. There's nothing wrong with being a backup, but I'm really, really surprised he hasn't done better.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that really gets me is Sam Bradford. Do you know he's going to start in the NFL this season?
I don't think. You're
How
right
old
about
is he?
There's no way. Where are you getting this information
He's
from?
on the Carolina Panthers.
What?
He's their starter.
Their starter is Teddy Bridgewater, and they just traded for the quarterback for
Pull
the
him
Jets.
up. Where's he at?
I think he retired.
I mean, let's say
I
just
think you're thinking that you're confusing with somebody else. I'm pretty sure he retired like 5 years ago.
No, he's been playing. Go to Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford's probably the smartest person to ever come out of Oklahoma.
He got the last big rookie contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the last snap he took was in 2018.
Man, he's on somebody's roster.
He's not.
I saw it.
You're confusing him with someone else. I
Am
was
I?
confused the other day. I was like, Sam Bradford hasn't played in 4 years. Yeah. He's not on the roster. Bridgewater's Carolina's quarterback, and they just traded for the Jets' first
Am I
round
getting
pick.
him? What's it? Sam Darnold, Sam Bradford.
That's what it
okay.
is.
Maybe. All right, my bad.
I was like, what is
My
this
bad.
guy?
My bad.
What is
Maybe
going
I don't
on?
know what I'm talking about.
That confused me. We're good. We're square now. Yeah.
All right, hey, Texas High's got spring football going on right now. You can't go watch it. I don't know if they're gonna have a spring football game, but hold on. I meant to tell y'all about this. Let me find it.
We'll be live streaming now.
We actually are live streaming something. It's going to be a pro day. But we'll talk about that later. Recruiting 101. It's going to be this Thursday. Contact Jerry Stanford. You can go to our Facebook page or our Gameday app or txkgameday.com. Get the information. If you have a kid and you're interested in learning more about recruiting, how to be recruited, contact Coach Stanford. His number is going to be on the flyer. And you can go to our website, txkgameday.com. You can find it in the news. And give him a shout. It's great information. He sends players every year to the next level. And not only like a ton of kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
we were at
awesome.
their signing day, and I mean, there had to have been. I know there was double digits.
Yeah,
It's just in football
They
players.
did 2, right? There was like 2 dozen of them.
They've had 3 different signing days.
That's
They
crazy.
had one in October. Now they've had 4. Wow, I was thinking
That is
about
wild.
that. Anyway, they're sending kids to the next level. They have their own recruiting department at Texas High School, so they know what they're talking about. So be sure they're going to have a Zoom call. So great information, free information for you and your child if you're interested in playing at the next level, and they do have the contacts to hook you up.
What are you hoping to see Thursday night? What would be good television?
Good television. Trevor Lawrence doesn't go number 1, but that's going to happen. But
yeah,
you
I'm
know,
hoping that Justin Fields goes number 2
Justin
and
Fields
just sets off this.
that would set off a huge hazard bomb.
Yeah,
People would
and-
be trading up.
Yeah, it would set off all
immediately.
kinds of crazy stuff going on.
I'm just excited.
And
It's one of my favorite days of the year. Like I'm even coming on. Tune in 7:00 Thursday morning. I'll be on the couch talking the draft with these guys. It's just one of my favorite days of the year. I love. I don't. The worst draft I ever saw was the Lamar Jackson draft. I've never felt more. Like what was the USC quarterback, Matt? Who? Matt Leinart. I felt bad for that guy that day because I mean, if he'd have went in the draft the year earlier, he would have been the number 1 pick. But I've never felt bad for someone like I felt bad for Lamar Jackson. Dropping to 31st or 32nd.
Yeah.
He was in the green room, which is the top 10 or 15 picks, and he sits there for 3 hours. And I think he's either the 31st or 32nd pick to wherever he went, the Ravens or whatever.
Yeah, I think he was graded like a mid-second round, but the Ravens traded back into the first so they could get the 5th-year option on him, and it paid off.
This is true.
Yeah, otherwise he was going to go, 40-ish or something like that, 42. And I'm still not sold on the guy. He's fun, but I don't think Tampa Bay makes the playoffs if he's their quarterback last year. Don't even make the playoffs.
You don't think so? I know as an athlete he's electrifying. He's fun
Yeah.
to watch, but I don't.
Yeah, fantasy
I
football.
don't really ever get to see Baltimore play. I get to see highlights. His highlights are amazing.
Yeah, I like watching him play. It's fun.
Yeah.
Because it's just something you don't see every day. But no, I don't think it's not gonna. No,
Let's do this. You got anything else?
I don't. I think we're good.
Mr. Producer, you got anything?
Tune in tonight. We got a baseball game at 6. Liberty Allo's going for the district title.
Good luck to them. Hope
That's
they
right.
win.